Hello and welcome to the guitar lesson for Golden Leaves by Passenger, and I'm basing this on the version I have linked in the description. My capo is on 4th fret and I've done some musical notation, both tabs and regular notation, which are linked in the description. But keep in mind that the notation you'll see isn't correct. For example, this note, well, on tablature it would be the 5th string and a 0 because it's an open string. But on the sheet music, the one above, you'll see that note as an A, which is not. You have to think of it a major third down, I suppose. And one last bit before we get started. This song has quite free rhythm. It ebbs and flows, so it's perfect for making it your own, which I would highly recommend that you do. But now to the intro. You start off with sort of an A minor shape, but with only your 2nd and 1st finger. 2nd fret and 1st fret. And then, keeping those fingers there, take a 3rd finger, place it above your 2nd on the 3rd fret, and your pinky on the 3rd fret on the B string. So we have, and then E and G strings open, and then do it again. So, together. Then we'll make a D minor shape, like this. Open D string, 2nd fret, 3rd fret, and the 1st fret. And we hit the lowest and the highest notes first. And then the ones in between. Highest again. The G string, open E string, and then back to the previous note. And then a simple G shape, just placing a 3rd finger on the 3rd fret of the E string, and then open G and B strings. Down to the D string. And then do the thing you did at the start, but starting off on the open D and B strings. C shape, 3rd fret, 2nd, open, 1st and open. First hit those 4 notes, so skipping the D string, just the 5th, the 3rd, the 2nd and the 1st. Down to the 4th string, the one we skipped. Just going through the strings. But when we reach the high E, we hit low as well. Down to the 4th, and then the 3rd, but when we hit the 3rd, we also hit the low E, and then back to the 2nd fret. Then for an F shape, but for this F, you'll need to use your thumb. So let your thumb wrap around the neck and grab that F, the 1st fret, and then 3rd fret and the 2nd fret, skipping the A string. Hitting those 3 at the same time, hitting the one in the middle once, hitting those 2 middle ones, and then skipping to the next pair of strings, the B and the G string, and open. And then 2nd and 1st frets. And then again. So, that bit slow. Back to the D minor shape. So first hitting all the notes, then going through them. But when we reach the high E string, we also hit the open D string. Down to the 2nd fret on the 3rd string, open E string, and then back to the previous one. And then E shape. But since we won't be playing that note on the A string, we just use those 2 fingers to hit the 2nd and 1st fret. We hit the low, the ones we fret, and the next open, which is the B string. Down to the 2nd fret, and then highest, 2nd to highest, 3rd to highest, and then down to lowest, and then highest and 2nd to highest. And then we have an A minor shape. Open A string, 2nd, 2nd, and 1st. And we hit the lowest and highest first, the ones in the middle, going up to the highest, and then move your fingers 2 frets up. And then down again. And then you might add just a few more notes. But that's it for the intro. Now we move on to the verse. And for this song, the general rhythm is thumb, those 2 fingers, the 2nd and 3rd ones, and then alternating with your 1st finger. So for example, on an A minor, it should be those notes first, the lowest, and then using those 2 fingers to hit those 2 notes, and then alternating with your index finger. But an important exception to this is the D minor that starts off most of sections in the song. And there you usually just do that. So first only low, and then starting the pattern. So for the verse we start off with a D minor. With an added suspended 2 chord, where you just lift your index finger. And after that we have a G chord, just using the 3rd fret on the low string and then open strings. C. And here we add a low E as a passing tone. So the last 2 eighth notes are the low E, the open G string, and then down to the 2nd fret. Which leads us into an F. The 1st fret, 3rd, 2nd, and 1st, skipping the A string. And then the D minor as before. And then E major. The notes are the same as in the intro. So skipping the A string, 2nd, 1st, and open. A minor. B minor with A in the bass, moving it up 2 frets, and then down again. And for the 2nd verse, it's played exactly like the one before, except at the end. When we go back, we do that. So a G with B in the bass, hitting the 2nd fret, open, and 3rd fret to open D string, and then C, hitting the 3rd, first fret, open, down to the open G string. And now we've arrived at the chorus. We start off on an F, G, and here we do this, a hammer-on to the first fret on the second string. The C again with a passing tone, but this time not the low E, but instead the B. So, which leads us into an A minor. So we go from this to that. Same notes as the C chord, but we've moved that note down half a step. And we've also added one more beat with your thumb. So you're not just hitting half notes, you're hitting 2 quarter notes at the end. Then back to an F chord, but this time we do a suspended 2 chord. So we play it just like the F. First fret, third fret, second and first, but we take our second finger and just lift it up in order to hit that open G string. And then G, C with passing tone, A minor 7. So an A minor 7 is just like an A minor, but you take a third finger, lift it up, and get that open G string. And then we have an interlude. The D minor, the E, but for the second half of that E, we take our fourth finger, place it on the third fret, and do an E7. And then the A minor, the B minor with A in the bass, and then A minor. And the third verse is played like the first one, except towards the end. So I'll just play the second half of the third verse. So what's happened there is we start off on the D minor just like before, but instead of going to the E, we do a G, moving it to a C, and here we're alternating between hitting the top 2 strings and the second and third strings. So all the while alternating with your index finger on the D string. And then taking your fourth finger, placing it on the third fret in order to get C7. And the fourth verse is played exactly like the second one, except on that E, where you squeeze in a small E7 chord, but only for one beat. So not the first, not second, but the third, and not the fourth, like it was in the previous interlude, where we just stayed on that. But then we just continue with that bit, which leads us into the chorus once more. And this time the chorus is played exactly like the one before, except you don't end up on the A minor 7, instead you just play a normal A minor. But we'll move straight on to the second interlude, which is played exactly like the one before, except for the B minor with A in the bass, where you play it like you did before, but you take your third finger, lift it up in order to hit that open G string. So that will give us. And when we've reached that part, we do a pickup to the solo. So we start off just like the intro, but when we reached that point, we just go back to the 2nd fret and then to the 3rd fret on the high E string. And then we do a D minor, hitting all the notes down to the lowest, the top highest, lowest. Take your pinky, hitting 2 strings on the 3rd fret, lowest, and then 5th fret on the high E string. And then 3rd fret with your index finger, 7th fret with your pinky, open G and B strings. The 4th and 3rd strings, and then going down 5th, 3rd, 1st, open, 3rd, and then C shape, hitting the lowest and the top 3, and then going up from the 4th string, and then the lowest and the 3rd fret, open, 3rd, 1st. Then to an A minor shape, hitting the low and the D string, but on that D string you do a grace note by hammering on quickly from an open D string. Those strings, so 2nd, 2nd, and open, 1st, open, 1st, and 2nd. Back to D minor shape, hitting all the strings, but then doing that. So all the strings, lifting up your index finger, then going down the chord, hitting the lowest and highest, and then going down the chord once more with the open E string. E major shape, hitting the low and the top 3 strings, then going to the 2nd fret of the 4th string, going up the chord, then down to the G string, and then open E. And then the A minor shape, which is played like the ending of the intro. Back again, but instead of just staying there, we do that bit, which we did after the 2nd and 4th verse. And then back to the chorus. And here, well, I suppose the difference is instead of doing that on the G, you just stay on it. And instead of doing that Fsus2, you do a D minor. But then it just continues like the previous ones. And then we finally reached the outro. doing one of those E chords, where you hit the 7 just on the third one. So first, second, third, and then back. A minor. Just slowing it down, not doing that anymore. Maybe adding that open E string. And then that chord, which is an A minor 7, you already know that one. And taking your pinky and placing it on the 5th fret of the E string. So that's it. I hope this video was helpful, and if you have any questions, feel free to ask them in the comments, and I'll see you next time. Bye.